I'm likely to get a lot of hate from this one, but before you flame me, you might want to actually open your mind and hear me out here. A stay-at-home dad is not the same thing as a stay-at-home mom. And a man who thinks that a woman should cover all of his expenses and he gets to stay home with the kids does not get it. In fact, my ex, note how I said ex, once said this to me when I told him how burnt out I was, how I was trying to do everything, and I couldn't possibly take on a job too. And he said, it's not that hard. I could stay home with the kids and cook and clean and it would be fine. Here is why it is not the same thing. Did you birth the baby? Are you breastfeeding the baby? Are you the one getting up in the middle of the night to take care of that baby? Here's the other uncomfortable truth that a lot of people who say these things just don't get. Women have a different cycle than men do. We do not have a 24-hour cycle. We do not wake up every morning feeling energized. There are days where we need more sleep. There are days where we need more nourishment. There are days where we need more time for ourselves, and there are days when we need to create. And if we continue to expect women to function exactly as men, yes, we are going to burn out. Now, as the empowered mom, I have basically made it my mission to ditch mommy martyr syndrome and to also get men to step up. And the reason for this is because we need both. Okay, dads are important, but not in the way that society has basically deemed them to be important, but in a way that they need to be the protector. They need to be the ones out there earning the majority of the income. Mom can't do it alone. I'm a single mom, and I chose to be a single mom because my partner was holding me back. I am single by choice because until my partner steps up for me, whatever, if they need to do something, I'm fine on my own. I cannot take on the responsibilities of working and raising a family at the same time, at the level that needs to be done. So I deliberately step back in how I run my house. It's a mess right now. I will completely attest to the fact that my house is an absolute mess. It's not filthy, but it is cluttered. It is to the point where the laundry just gets washed and then it's on the bed for the kids to put away. And they can put it away or not. They're not at that age anymore where I have to put it away for them. But when my babies were young, yeah, the house was a disaster. I was doing everything at home. And in addition to being the stay-at-home mom, I also had a passion to help other moms. I started empowering moms back when my son was born. I had that fire in me. I'm like, why isn't this being taught? Why are moms being screwed over in this medical system? This isn't okay. And then I saw the other side when I became a birth advocate and like, oh my gosh, the midwives, the doulas, the nurses, the doctors that truly want to support, their hands are tied too. I need to do something. So I was on Instagram and I was on Facebook and I was scrolling and I was talking to people and I was helping those moms. In addition to that, I was expected to keep the house clean and I was expected to also take care of the kids. And you know what? When my daughter was born, it was a lot to try to take that on. It was so much more than I could handle, and I knew that I couldn't handle it. But I'd keep hearing, well, other moms do it, so you should be able to do it too. No. So, here is the thing. I'm going to talk to the moms, the ladies, the single ladies even that are thinking they want to be a mom. You absolutely can be a mom and have all of your dreams and have your partner step up for you. You don't have to burn out. So I'm going to tell you that right now. It takes finding the right one. It takes finding the person who actually has the capacity to fill your cup and to provide for you and to be joyful in that providing without being resentful, without expecting you to work really hard. And you can have your career. You can have that too. However, you also need to have the reality. You need to recognize that it is going to change after motherhood. You don't have to sacrifice it, and you may need to change things around. You're going to need more flexibility. And the way that the system is currently, moms get the short end of the stick. And I recently, because my mentors were doing an event and they were launching their program that changed my life in so many amazing ways, I had basically decided, instead of doing my weekly newsletter, I'm going to do 12 days of Empowered Mom Magic. So typically my audience is women who are either wanting to grow their family or they're currently pregnant. But there's more to it than that. The Empowered Birth Method is not just about birthing a healthy baby or birthing a baby naturally and taking your power back in birth. It's taking power back in all areas of life. And so with the 12 days of Empowered Mom Magic, I basically explained how I was able to break free of mommy martyr syndrome and what I want to create in my business. Now, of course, things are still out there, but I'm seeing signs, and I know that when I have my partner, I will be able to do more, because you cannot do things alone. It really does take a village. And that is the problem with this super mom, I can do it all myself culture that we are living in. And the men on the outside thinking, oh yeah, she's superwoman, she should be able to do everything. And they think that because they have the stamina to be able to cook and clean and take care of the kids, they think that that's the same. It's not. Sorry, guys. You're amazing dads. I had a dad who took care of me and my brother, but he did not have a period every single month. He was not dealing with the hormone fluctuations. He did not breastfeed his children. He was just taking care of them. He did not birth them from his body and have to recover for 2 years. Yes, it's 2 years after pregnancy. So if you have more than one baby, you are recovering every 2 years. It took a while for me to be able to reclaim parts of myself after I had my kids. And there's still seasons of my life where I'm like, I'm out of commission. I don't have the energy to devote to this and this and this. And you know what? Moms need a break. Do you know what I want for Mother's Day? And I'm getting it because I left my ex. My kids are going with their dad. I'm going to spend Mother's Day, well, I'd like to spend Mother's Day with a certain person if they reached out to me. But, you know, if things aren't working right now and they need to fortify the kingdom a little bit more, I just have to wait. But, you know, I'm really tired. Like so tired. Like I am finding more things that I need to do right now. Like my Reset Your Mindset challenge is done. And now I am editing a lot of master classes, and I'm recording because my studio is going dark in the summer unless my true love came in and said, okay, we're moving and we're going to get a place so the kids have their own space and you have your recording studio and you can still record your videos even in the summer. That would be helpful. But until that comes in, I'm basically sitting there and I'm doing everything. But that's the key. If a woman is begging her partner for help, that's a problem. Because if he's not stepping up, she has to step into that role of doing everything. And yeah, she's going to get really bitchy. She's going to burn out. And things are going to drop. And at some point, and this is sad, but at some point, she's going to look at that. She's going to be like, I'm doing everything already on my own. My partner is not enhancing anything for me. They are not stepping up for me. Like, I could do this so much more effectively if they weren't in the picture. And then guess what happens? Yeah, she leaves. She takes the kids and she leaves. Or she takes off on her own and she leaves. But, my mom actually did take me and my brother. I just chose to move in with my dad. And my dad stepped up and he took care of us. And I saw men can do it. Men can absolutely clean the bathroom and go to work. My dad was a single dad. He went to work. He earned all the money. My mom couldn't really pay much in child support. She didn't have that kind of job that she could pay. So my dad did it, and my dad would clean the bathrooms, and they would be sparkling. And my dad took us out to all of our events, and I got to be like a little kid in a lot of ways. So you have to understand, if my dad could take care of the house and take care of the kids and be there as a single parent, then there are no excuses in what I look for in a partner. And my ex had pretended to be a provider, and I realized he was not. And if that is the case, then you need to be very, very careful who you are getting into a partnership with. Now, I'm now going to speak to the guys who want to be dads or are dads and do have a partner currently. Or even the ones that are like, how did everything go wrong? You want to know what needs to happen? You need to step up. This is not the 1950s anymore, where you can just go to work and then come home and then kick your feet up on the couch and have your wife give you a beer. It's not happening anymore. And you can't go back. Because guess what? Those 1950s housewives were usually lobotomized, taking medication, and if the partner happened to be really awful, well, guess who had a whole bunch of ulcers all the time? Have you noticed that? That a lot of men in the past had ulcers, or they would expire quite young, and suddenly the woman would be free? Have you ever thought of that? Yeah. When women were able to get away from partners, when divorce became easy to access, yeah, a lot of divorces happened. Because women realized, I can now own my own bank account. That wasn't available in the 70s. I can own my own home. That wasn't available in the 70s. Even up into the 80s, that wasn't available. I can get a job outside of just being a nurse or a secretary, and if I get pregnant, I can protect my livelihood. That wasn't available. I can now go and get educated and put off having children until I'm actually emotionally and financially ready for it. That was not available in our grandmother's generation. You were expected to just get married and have a man take care of you. And if that man died, for whatever reason, you were expected to remarry again and find a good man. We don't have to settle. We don't. And I recognize that is really confronting to a lot of people, that we don't have to settle. Because, yeah, we're lonely. We want to have somebody beside us. I would love to have my true love beside me right now. But if it's not going to work for him right now, then I'm not going to beg him. I'm not going to plead for him to come in when he's not ready. No, he's got to be ready to do this with me. Because I want to build a family. And I already did that with my ex. I wanted kids. I had kids. And I was also trying to build my business at the same time, and everything fell apart, and it was taking longer than it needed to be. And I ended up prioritizing my business and my kids, and I neglected him. And I will cop to that. But you know what? He wasn't stepping up for me. And eventually, that love died because I could see how much he wasn't stepping up for me. And I mean, there was other things too. You don't go and call somebody lazy when they're trying to do everything possible to keep things afloat while you go and spend money on yourself and take off for several weeks at a time doing your own thing and only coming home to sleep. Yeah, I'll say it. I'll say it. If you're in that situation right now with your partner and you're like, oh, but he works so hard, I should just let him go. No. No. If you are burning out, he needs to step up. If you are burning out, he's not taking care of you. And you would actually probably be better off on your own. Yeah, I said it. Yeah. You would be better off on your own. You would have more energy to devote to your children and to your dreams if you were on your own. And that's part of why, part of my vision for my empire of influence, as I call it, is I want moms to be able to work from home. And not work hard from home, but work maybe a few hours a day and be able to spread that out and to make good money doing it. So I decided that I'm not going to pay by the hour. I decided that when I hire my coaching queens, I'm giving them the cut of the profits, and I'm giving them the bigger cut because they're the ones doing the work for me. Because I'm not here to just make a bunch of money. I'm here to distribute the wealth among the moms. So what I saw during the pandemic was that the women that had sacrificed their families, they went out into the workforce because they had to, because their partner was not making enough, or their partner was out of work, or their partner was spending too much. So they'd be like, I have to go back to work when my baby is 6 weeks old. I have no choice. We have to make ends meet. Why? Why do you have to make ends meet? Well, usually because your partner is not stepping up properly for you. If they were, they would not be expecting you to have more expenses than income. Where is it going? Be very honest with yourself. Where is that money going? If you looked at your finances and you stopped making excuses for your partner, where is that money going? What is he spending it on? What's he spending his time on? When he's taking care of the kids, what's he actually doing? Because my ex, when I asked him to watch the kids were bored. Because they wanted daddy's attention, but daddy was tired, so daddy was watching Walking Dead. And I'd be like, this is not an appropriate show for a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old to be watching this, or 2 years old, actually. And he'd just groan and grumble and want to watch those shows. And like, okay, well, I guess I cannot go anywhere because I need to raise these kids in a way that isn't going to traumatize them. So I did extra and I'd set my dreams aside. I set my dreams aside for 8 years. And when I finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel with my daughter possibly being able to go to school and like, I will be able to do this now. That's when he's like, well, why isn't the house clean? The kids are older. The house should be clean. I'm like, I'm working on something now because everything else has fallen apart. And I've recognized that we're not going to be able to make the amount of money that I need to make to live the life that we need to live for these kids because of the way that the finances are. And you say it's your money. Okay, well, you told me to get a job. I'm going to work from home. And he didn't like it. And I said, are you telling me that I have to choose between my dreams and you? And he's like, well, if that's how you want to put it. I'm like, okay, bye. Like, I'm gone. I'm going to build my dreams with or without you. That's the thing. We will build. Women are incredibly resilient. We will build if we have to. We will leave if we have to. We don't want to, but we will. We will leave. And no more mommy martyr. Moms, no more mommy martyr. Okay? I mean it. If you have a dream, if you have a vision that you are trying to create, you choose. You choose what's most important. Your kids and your dreams, or the partner who's not going to step up. Because I guarantee you, one of two things is going to happen if you start choosing your dreams and choosing yourself and choosing your kids. And recognizing you can set boundaries with your kids and set your kids up for independence. Either your partner is going to step up and they're going to realize that nobody else is going to take care of those dishes in the sink right away. And nobody else is going to take care of that laundry right away. And you are kind of running empty on fumes. And if they want to be taken care of, then they need to make you feel appreciated. Well, then they will either step up or they will get worse. That's what happens. They will either step up because they don't want to lose you, or they'll get worse and try to find somebody to replace you. And if they go out and find somebody to replace you, they didn't value you. They just did you a favor. I just want to say to the woman who came into my life way back in 2019, who was an awesome mom friend until she wasn't, thank you. Thank you for seducing my former partner. Thank you for getting pregnant. Thank you for keeping that baby. Thank you for showing me just how little that man valued me. You did me a huge favor, because when I saw that, I knew it was time to leave. And I started to get strong, and I started to value myself. And I started to go for my dreams because I had to. I was about to be a single mom, and I didn't want to work 3 jobs and burn myself out and not be there for my kids. So thank you. Neither one of us got him. Neither one of us wants him. And you now see what this did. But, we're free. He can grow up and he can find his partner, or he can stay the same. I mean, that's his choice. I'm seeing him starting to grow up. So for any women that do know who I'm talking about, because you happen to be local and you are currently speaking to my ex, I do want to say he's trying. I don't want him back. So don't get any jealousy if he's talking to me. It's literally about the kids. I don't want him back. And he's good for someone. So take my ex, please. And if you happen to be currently single and you're not looking yet, I'm going to encourage you to stop looking altogether. It'll find you when it's right. I found my true love when I was not looking, when I was done with men, when I was trying to leave my ex at the same time, and I found him. And I'm like, if I was to have children again, it would be with this one. And only this one. Because I can't see anybody else being at the level that I need. And I don't know. Maybe it could work out. I mean, I have confirmation now. He knows. He knows what's waiting for him. And as soon as he's ready to bring me in, I'm ready. But until then, I just do what I need to do. I work every day on something. Even if it's not at the level that I could really build, if I had a bigger place with more bedrooms for the kids to be in their own rooms, and I had my partner beside me to basically bring in the extra resources and to be able to bring me food when I'm doing my magical thing that I do. I mean, I'm sometimes recording all day. And sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to go and do a live stream freestyle like I'm doing now. So the schedule today is I have this one. I'm going onto my Empowering Moms Birth account to do something for midwives because it is International Midwives Day. And then I also have a deep dive masterclass that I'm recording. And then I need to edit a whole bunch of videos for next week to start scheduling those. And I need to do some more like networking with some people. I recently also got into connection with an author who asked to use one of the messages that I gave to her as a testimonial for her book that's coming out at like mid-month. And I'm scattering my magic. And I know I could do more with the right partner. And that's the key. If you are with somebody and you are actually being held back, it's not the right fit. And if they're not stepping up for you when you go for your dreams, but instead pulling you back, it's not the right fit. And this is incredibly important for moms. Because do you know what happens to a woman when she is not with the right partner? When she has to do everything? She gets hardened. She gets exhausted. Her glow and youth and beauty fade because she doesn't have time to give to herself. But do you know what happens to that same woman when she feels like she's aged 10 years and she leaves? Fountain of youth. That's what happens. Fountain of youth. I look younger now than I did back when I was having my babies. Seriously, I look younger now. I feel healthier now. So, yeah, you need to be with the right partner. The measure of a good partnership is in how well everybody is thriving in that partnership. If you're sick and exhausted, and this is for men too, if you're sick and exhausted all the time, it's not right. It's just not. My ex doesn't want to work himself very hard. And it's okay. He's happier out in the woods. He can go to the woods when the kids are a little bit older. I mean, he's got about 10 years. Possibly 9 if he really wanted to go early. And then he can do whatever he wants. But until that point, he's here literally just working himself to the bone because he wants to at least be close to his kids. So that's why I said he's not a bad guy. He had bad traits that he needs to work on. We all do. Nobody is inherently bad or good. We are all just working on ourselves. So this is for any dads that do feel a little bit ashamed of themselves right now for pushing their wives so hard and expecting them to go outside and work and contribute equally financially and also take care of the kids and also do all the housework. Yeah, it's a lot for her. And if you really, truly value her and love her, then you're going to step up for her, right? You're going to readjust things. You're going to look at the actual finances and you're going to realistically see, are you contributing enough? Or could you change jobs? Could you find ways to bring in more help for her? Could you get family members to come in and help? Is there any way you could find out what her dreams are and support those ambitions too? Because, you have to understand the seasons of a woman's life. You have to understand our cycles. You have to understand we don't have that 24-hour clock. We just don't. There's whole days where we're exhausted and we need you to take care of us. And you can't be griping and grumbling because then we would rather just placate you than deal with more tantrums or sulking. So you really have to recognize, can you sit with your feelings? Can you sit with that shame? Can you sit with that guilt? And can you step up? If you love her, if you truly love her, you will. And if she truly loves you, she'll be happy for you to do that for her, and she will soften. If, however, she's just taking and taking and taking and taking and taking, and you're giving, and you know you're giving your all, you're not just half-assing it, you're really giving your all, and she's just taking, she's not right for you. She doesn't love you. Because I know. My true love, he loves me. And I love him. And yeah, I'm struggling right now. Absolutely struggling. But this is how I knew that it was true love. When he couldn't come in yet, for whatever reasons, like I knew he had things he had to do. I'm like, I'm not going to be a hindrance to you. If you have to go and travel right now, if you have to go and build right now, if you need to go and do that stuff before you can settle down, if you need to go and get more resources for us before you feel confident settling down and starting a family and being that main support, then do it. But I can't keep coming in and draining myself to this. So I love you. Go fly. Go do your thing you need to do. I'll take care of the nest that I've already built. And I'll continue to get the resources that I need to get. And I'll continue to build on myself so that I'm okay while you're flying. But when you come in, you know what we're building together. And you know that everything that you need to do now can't be done while we're raising little babies. It's not going to work. Because I won't be able to do all of it. I won't be able to build my dreams and be pregnant and take care of little kids. Like, I can't. I did that before. And yeah, I was badass, but I was also burnt out. And I wasn't able to be there for my son the way he needed to be. And I wasn't able to be there for myself the way I needed to be. And that pregnancy was really hard on me. And that postpartum was really hard on me. I struggled. I'm going to just admit it. I struggled in those years. I was so skinny that, like, I was 100 pounds. I'm only 5'4". I was so skinny because my son was still breastfeeding, and I was not willing to give up that because that was important to me, that he have that nourishment. But I wasn't being nourished. I was so tired. But nobody was pouring into me, so I had to choose between taking my son to the park every day and letting him play, or having the house clean. And often, if I didn't have the house clean, I would get in trouble. So it was like, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to take him to the park and have fun? Or do you want me to have the house clean? Because I don't have the energy to do both. Nap time was for both of us. I would take a nap, and my partner would say, well, you don't need a nap. Yeah, I did. Being a mom and raising little babies and having my hormones go all over the place, yes, moms need naps. Sleep when the baby sleeps. I'm saying it. Sleep when the baby sleeps. I mean it. No, I don't care that you have dishes to do. I don't care that you have laundry to do. Leave it. Leave it. Go take a nap with your children. If they won't lay down by themselves, yes, lay down with them. It's okay to fall asleep beside them. You're not spoiling them. It goes by so fast. You know, today my son came into the bedroom and I'm like, do you have time to snuggle with mommy for a few seconds before you head off to school? He's like, no, I gotta go now. I'm like, okay, well, can I get a hug at least? I mean, This kid used to just be in my arms all the time. I was safe, I was home, I was mommy. Now, I come into the kitchen and he's like, Mom, I want space. Like, he's growing up. My daughter, too. She wants her space. Sometimes she's still in cuddle mode, but she wants her space. The toddler stage only lasts so long. The baby stage only lasts so long. And I at least know that I spent every single moment that I could when they were babies. They did not sleep in a crib. They slept with me. They snuggled up in my arms. I have those memories. So I was able to let them go. But yeah, the house was a mess. And people would comment on it all the time. Well, why don't you put the baby down so that you can go and do the dishes? No. I'll put the baby down when I'm ready to have a shower. Because nobody else is holding that baby. So I have the baby in the seat so I can have a shower. I used to take my daughter into the bathtub with me to bathe her. But then I couldn't have a real proper bath. I survived. I didn't thrive. So, this is my declaration. The gloves came off when it came to birth. But the gloves are off in other ways too. I am empowering moms. And I'm not just doing it through birth. Birth is a metaphor for life, and how we treat moms in pregnancy and how we expect them to do it all when we are literally carrying life. No, we're not fragile. Yes, we can do it all. We could probably move that furniture across the room, but why should we? Why should we? We are already doing enough. Why is it that as soon as we have that baby, we're expected to get our body back and get back into a routine? Why? Because dads think they can do it? Dad didn't give birth. Dad's hormones are not the issue. Mom's are. Dad is not breastfeeding. Dad is not recovering after 2 years of breastfeeding to get weight back onto him. Dad is not dealing with a period. He is not going through perimenopause. He is not going through menopause. Therefore, Dad steps up. And working dads do not get to suddenly act like their wives are not doing enough if she is doing everything she possibly can and still feels like she doesn't measure up. Because that's what she's feeling. That's mom culture. So this is a video for everybody. I'm done with mommy martyr syndrome. Done with it. Empowering moms is not going to allow that. My coaching queens will not have to work very hard to get paid what they're worth. My coaching queens will be able to maybe take on a 15-minute call each day and make more than most people make in an hour based on this model that I'm creating. Of course, I can't do it alone. I need my support. So if anybody wants to join me, if anybody would like to help me get my message out there, reach out to me. Okay? I help moms who want to have a natural birth and navigate the medical system so that they can actually have balance. The goal of empowering moms is we aim for a physiological birth and then we pull back and create our backup plans as needed. The medical system model has basically scared moms into thinking that if they go into the medical system, their autonomy is going to be taken away. There are people within the medical system who would love to support physiological birth, and they can't. Physiological birth is less likely to cause complications. You are less likely to get a C-section if you are planning a physiological birth. Physiological birth is less painful. If you really want to understand this, I have deep dive masterclasses. You can also go into the links in my bio And that will tell you more about what I call true natural birth, which is physiological birth. This is better for moms. This is better for babies. This is better for our postpartum. This is better for our recovery. This is better for our family. Birth trauma affects a mom's psyche and causes her to have more anxiety, so she can't be there for her children and for her family. It affects her career. It affects her marriage. It affects how she sees herself and what she's able to accomplish. I heal birth trauma by showing moms who want to have another baby that they can take their power back. I don't work with just everyone that comes to me. I am very intentional with my energy and my time. I'm also very expensive to work with as a coach. However, the transformations of my clients speak for themselves. The transformations of what they do after they have their babies speaks for themselves. They go on to create their businesses and their dreams. Their partners step up for them. They shift in their career. They come back to themselves, and they are able to be more present for their children. Empowering moms is not just about birth. It is really a whole life transformation. And I have other things outside of just the birth sphere that I want to create. I again need more support and more resources to be able to do that. I'm a stay-at-home single mom. I am taking care of my kids while also building this movement, and I don't have a lot to be able to do that. I don't have anybody else bringing in the income. It's me. I'm the only one doing it. I don't have anybody else cleaning for me. If I have to clean, it's me doing it. My kids, while they're a little bit helpful, they are not consistent with it. And I don't expect them to be, because they are not adults. They deserve to be kids. And I don't have all of that time to be able to devote to my movement if I don't also have people in my corner. So I am looking for that. I am calling that in because I know it's out there and I know it's for me and I know it will come. I recently had a dream just last night where I was basically out there helping moms, and I had a whole team guiding and supporting, and I was just in this other role of overseeing and making sure everything was running smoothly. And I want to give back. I want my moms to be well paid. I want my moms to be able to have the kind of life that they can really be like, I have a fulfilling mission that I am supporting with or doing my own thing in addition to that. And I also have my family, and it's intact, and it's happy, and I'm happy, and I'm fulfilled. Because when mom's cup is empty, everybody's cup is empty. She can't pour from an empty cup. So, this would then allow moms to get what they deserve. This would allow moms to no longer get the short end of the stick. So again, if you want to know more about what I'm doing, if you want to support me, if you love what I've been sharing, both here on Carly Uncensored, and if you've also been following me on Empowering Moms, then please reach out, because I can't chase, and I won't chase. I mean, I can chase. Technically, I can chase if I needed to. If I needed to reach out to people, I could. However, that will take away from the other things that I'm doing, the things that I'm building. So it's on you to reach out. It's on you. And if you're a friend who loves what I've been doing and loves my energy and wants more and wants to support me and pour into me, again, you have to reach out to me. I do not have the energy right now where I'm at to be able to do anything else. And if my true love is watching, I know you're working on things. Okay? I'm not blaming you at all. I know that if you were here right now, like, things would be so much easier for me. And I also know that if you're working on something, well, you know, I get it. I love to know what you're working on so that it can give me a little bit more of an idea. And I understand if you can't right now. I love you anyway. And I'm here. And I'm building. I got the kingdom fortified. You can send a messenger to me. You can send me a message yourself, and you can even come in. There's only love waiting for you. And for anybody who is currently wondering, well, I'm waiting for my love to step up. They will. They will. Trust they will. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to trust. But especially when you've been let down so many times, it can be hard to trust. But trust that the right people are going to find you and they are going to step up for you. We don't have to do it all. No mommy martyr. So this Mother's Day, I'm going to invite you, empowered moms, because we all are empowered moms. If you're watching this and you are a mom, then you need to understand you're already an empowered mom because you're following me. But think about what you really, really want for Mother's Day. Not a gift, not a trinket. What would really light you up? What would fill your cup? Even if it means being away from your kids for the day and just having that time to yourself. What do you want? If you have a partner, tell them to get you that. If they love you, they will. If they whine and complain and bitch and everything, file that away. Pay attention. Life's too short to stay with somebody who really doesn't see you, doesn't care about you, doesn't really want to pour into you, and is really just there because you're convenient. You deserve better. You deserve way better than somebody who thinks you're just convenient. If you have been pouring into somebody and they don't see you, do yourself a favor, file that information away, and when you're ready, when you've built yourself up, when you've poured into yourself, leave. You deserve better. You deserve so much better, even if it's on your own. You deserve better. And men who have wives, if you're celebrating Mother's Day, you need to be recognizing what she really wants and find out what she really wants and give her what she really wants, not what you think she wants. Actually find out. Find out what she wants. Pay attention and find out. And if you don't have a wife, but you have a mother, please remember Mother's Day. Seriously, just remember Mother's Day and honor your mom. Step up for her too, okay? She doesn't need to have to remind you that it's Mother's Day. It's not fair to have to remind you that it's Mother's Day. I mean, my son is 12, so I'm training him still. But I said, it's like, hey, it's Mother's Day, and I know you're going to be with your dad, and I'm getting what I want already, which is time to myself, which I'm going to celebrate the hell out of. But he's doing a project for school where he's creating these resin ornaments. And I said, I know you're doing most of these for school, but if you find a little heart mold or something, can you just make me a little trinket? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. But, you know, the real gift would be for him to just clean the house. That would be the real gift. And I get that every once in a while. So anyway, that's what I have for you. I'm going to go and record on my other one now. If you love this, you know where to find me. You know to reach out. But I have my entire archive. And I'm going to be putting transcripts out of the actual videos with links as well. Because, as I said, I'm done with Mommy Martyr. And it's not just birth. It's a whole life transformation. So, relationships and creating one's own business, creative life. I actually have a tagline now. It's like, whether you're birthing a baby, birthing a creative project or a business, or rebirthing yourself, empowered birth or empowering moms is here for you. And I'm here for you. And I'm also here for the dads because, you know, we do need you. We do need the husbands. We do need the men to step up. We can't do this alone. You're just as valuable. And it's time that we recognize that. Okay? I love you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.